Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here in this reading. Take what works for you. It may also apply to someone you are close to at this time. This is a general reading. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, please feel free to cross-watch to my other videos for further insights. I have shuffled and laid out the cards, so let's begin. I work through the 12 houses of the zodiac, and the card that appears in each house is obviously bringing in influences associated with that particular card. So now in the first house, you have part of fortune, which is increase. Part of fortune is actually a very fortuitous thing to have. It actually is almost like a hidden talents or hidden forms of abundance, which you perhaps haven't tapped into previously, or haven't acknowledged, or you haven't worked with. You may have known that they're there, or they may suddenly be rising to the surface now. But in any case, it's an increase of something that's been latent within you. It's also good luck, good fortune, some form of abundance coming towards you, and that it could be gifts that are placed for you along your path. Now, the first house deals with the physical body, your physical body, how you appear to others, your personality, and your appearance, and and how you project, what you're projecting outward to others, and how they are perceiving what you are projecting. So if you've got a mask, if you have a persona which you project to others, then this will cover that as well. So this being in your first house, this card is indicating that your instincts are going to be very good. You're going to be feeling quite powerful, and you're going to be able to move forward and resolve any difficulties that you may encounter, and it's also going to make you feel, quite good in yourself, in your body, and you're just going to be coping and actually making progress, and you're going to be perhaps having lucky breaks as you go along. It also could mean that if you're in the public eye, if you are a leader of some sort, then you're going to be coming across as quite powerful in that way and actually quite influential. Bear this in mind. We'll return to this later, because this is going to come in to aspects which are currently indicated in your 7th house of relationships. So we'll come back to that. Then in your 2nd house, you have Libra, I balance. And Libra is generally the sign of relationships and love and so on. And it's appearing in your 2nd house, which is to do with your income, your money that's coming in, your values, and your self-worth, and property, real estate, the environment. And so with Libra appearing in there, obviously it's bringing in for you to achieve balance. So you're going to be asked to achieve balance in any one of those areas, or you could be bringing balance into any one of those areas. So if it's your money that's coming in, Libra does also quite like beautiful things. So you may be wanting to purchase beautiful things, or you may be looking at beautiful things and enjoying those. But when it comes to your finances, just make sure that you're balanced and that you are actually making headway to look at everything and to actually come to a happy place for yourself where you feel that you've got things covered. And if it's to do with your values, again, find balance in that. And if it's to do with self-worth, you may be requiring to exercise a fair bit of self-love. Everybody has to do that. We all have to do it. It's one of the hardest things to actually do, to show yourself love at all times, because from that, everything else flourishes. If you can't show yourself love, then you can't share love with others. So this is actually really important for you at this time, taking into consideration other factors which are going on in your chart. So no matter what is going on, show yourself love, take care of yourself, look after your money, and spend time outdoors, enjoying the peace and tranquility. But also when it comes to dealing with other people to do over your money and your income and perhaps your ownership of property and real estate and so on. Libras don't generally like conflict. They like to negotiate. They like to come to solutions. They can be very balanced in their outlook. They like to actually have a quality negotiation and for things to work out well. They don't want to have conflict and drama. It's also you may have a situation where you need to make a decision. Libras can sometimes be indecisive, so it may be indicating for you that you do need to bring that in and actually make a decision about something and move forward. These are all the elements of Libra. It's a very compassionate sign, a very balanced sign, and so bring those elements into everything that you're working on in that particular house. Then in the third house, you have Leo, I will. And so this is a fire sign, and it's all about creativity, about spontaneity, and this is falling into your house of communication. So this is all types of communication, whether it's verbal, or body language, written. Everything you say and everything you're projecting outwards is a form of communication. It's also to do with contracts. So if you are dealing with contracts of any kind, then just bring as much creativity into that as you possibly can. So you may need to be it's quite inventive and come up with unique solutions. It's also to do with what you're projecting outwards to others. And so you may just need to tap into your heart and communicate from your heart. And if this is to do with people in your close relationships, you may need to be a bit more creative and more spontaneous and bring more warmth into what you're saying. So don't be cutting and don't go off the deep end and create drama, unnecessary drama. Harness the more creative solution when it comes to your communication, and bring more warmth in and a bit more joy and spontaneity in there. It's a fire sign, so it's warmth. You need to bring that in, and you need to just lift things up a little bit. Taking into consideration other factors in your chart, you may be feeling a little bit restricted in certain other areas, and so you may need to just harness those abilities and bring those in. Then in your fourth house, you have Mars, it's a forceful sign, it's a fiery sign, it's a get things done, planet, and Mars is the god of war. So now, in your fourth house, this is the house of home, and it is the house of your roots and your foundation, which is put together by your ancestral heritage and also your ethnic identity. So when it comes to harnessing the best of Mars, you need to take action. You need to take action on some aspect that's coming up for you in your home or to do with your family and your foundation that you've created for yourself. And you may need to protect your interests when it comes to your home. You may need to fight for something in your home, or you just need to fight for your home in some way. You need to be quite forceful but not aggressive. Always bear that in mind with Mars. Mars can be very warlike and aggressive. So you've got to temper that with taking action, and it's determined action. It's going to be fiery, quick action, and you're going to blaze a trail. So however that's coming up for you in your house of home, or to do with perhaps your forging a new foundation for yourself. You're basically clearing what has been there before, and you're taking action to bring about newness and to bring about what you want, or to protect what you already have. Okay. Then we have in the fifth house, we have Neptune. Sacrifice is one of the aspects it brings in. This is a watery sign, and it's coming into your fifth house, which is your house of creativity, children, and having fun. So all kinds of recreation, sport. It can also be gambling, all these sort of it's love affairs, romance, having fun, any of those sorts of light-hearted activities. So with Neptune in there, this could cover a great many aspects, actually. So when it comes to your children, you may be making sacrifices, or you have made sacrifices, or you will be required to make sacrifices of some sort. It's also maybe that your children are going through a phase of a bit of confusion, a bit of uncertainty about they're not quite sure what's going on, because Neptune can bring in, it has two sides to it. It has the beautiful, imaginative connection to the divine, very spiritual quality about it. Wonderfully spiritual connection. But the other side of that is a bit of illusion or disillusionment, or perhaps not seeing things as clearly as you should. Perhaps it's just a period that will pass where you're just feeling a little bit confused. And Neptune is also can bring about feelings of escape. So you may be wanting to escape into fun activities, or into a love affair, to escape other issues that are going on, and you're just wanting to just retreat and enjoy light-hearted, fun activities, sports, some sort of distraction. But it could also be your children going through that, or they're facing some kind of situation which is confusing for them, or you may be seeing that in relationship to your children, so you're going to be dealing with that in those areas. And if it's to do with your creative projects or your creativity in general, try to harness the higher aspects of Neptune, which, as I said, is imaginative. It's beautiful, and its connections to the divine. It's a very illuminating planet to have. It's a planet of enlightenment as well, in connection with the spirit world and your spirituality and the divine. So, if you are working on various creative projects, you're being asked to tap into that aspect and ground that, bring that down. As I said, it's a very watery aspect to be having. And the fifth house is actually the house of Leo, so it's normally a sun, ruled by the sun. So it's a kind of, you may just be feeling a little bit confused or a little bit unsure about something that's coming up for you in the fifth house. But endeavor always to aim for the more positive aspects of it. And if it comes to having fun, get out. Maybe you need to get out on the water. Maybe you need to be next to water, or enjoy boating, or some kind of fun activity which involves water of some sort. Then in your sixth house, you have Capricorn IUs. And so your sixth house is all to do with, it's basically the house of work. It's the house of your mastery of your craft, your workplace, your work colleagues, and your projects that you're working on. It's also the house of health and diet, and the house of pets. So you've got Capricorn appearing there. Capricorn is a very stable, earthy sign. It's ruled by Saturn, which is it's about hard work. Basically, you've got to put in time and effort, and you may not be seeing results immediately, because it's a slow-moving energy. It's not quick. It's not overnight. So you're going to be putting your building blocks in one at a time, and making a firm structure, or creating a structure, or a very good foundation. Capricorns are masters of construction, of building things, whether it's a business or some kind of project. And they go about it, they set their goal and they go for it with great determination and resourcefulness. So you need to bring those elements into the sixth house. And they also are very good at using their contacts. So you may be coming across contacts who are going to help you, or going to give you good direction in how to move forward. So it's almost like social contacts. It's also work contacts. Just really good, solid leads and people that are going to assist you, or just drop pearls of wisdom in your lap. And so be aware of that. Obviously, that. You handle that with integrity. You don't use these people to further yourself. What you do is you harness what they're giving you, and then you use that to move forward. And so you may be bringing those elements in. If it's to do with your health, if a health and diet is coming up, you may need to examine, have a good look at your skeletal structure and your possibly your tendons and your connective tissue are taking a bit of strain, or your skeletal structure. So it's things like visiting chiropractors, taking vitamin D and calcium, magnesium, all of those. And also it may also be dental issues coming in. So Saturn, which rules Capricorn, rules the strong structures of the body. So you may be required to just boost that, because if you're going through stresses and strains, then the body takes strain. It really does. So any dental issues indicates very old, deep-seated subconscious issues which are now rising to the surface to be dealt with. So you may be looking at, you may be dealing with that as well. Then in the seventh house, you have the Yod, which is a destiny card. In fact, you have fate and destiny in your first house, and you have it in your seventh house. Your first house is about you, and how you're moving forward in your life, or how you want to move forward in your life. And the seventh house is all to do with partnerships, your relationships, your close one-on-one relationships. So how you are in yourself affects how you are in a relationship. And you've got fate cards, destiny cards in both of those. Now, the Yod, the destiny card, this appearing in your seventh house is going to bring about some restriction and stress. It could be quite severe, or it could just be something that you have to deal with. So there's some issue which you're grappling with in your seventh house. So this is your one-on-one relationships, your personal love relationships, or very close, your very close relationships that, the ones that are really close to you, that you're dealing with on a personal basis. It can also be business relationships. So with this card, you're going to be asked to forge your own path. You may not have support. In fact, you probably won't have support. You're not going to get good advice and support from others. You're basically going to have to you're going to have to go inward, do a lot of self-reflection, and find your own truth. And forge your own path, make your own way forward, with some determination as well. So whatever the situation is that you're grappling with in your relationships, it's something that is going to make you feel a lot of stress and strain. It won't be solved immediately, but also how you are moving forward in yourself personally is going to influence that. So now, with the first house card, it's a form of good luck. It's a form of feeling powerful, solving conflicts, and like abundance, and using hidden talents as well, and forging forward and being influential. So you're going to need every bit of that to deal with this issue. And so you're going to generally feel that you may have to make a few sacrifices in your relationships. You may have to have a really deep self-examination and work out for yourself what is your right path. You may have to make a choice as well here. But I feel you're going to handle it really well because you've got this sign in your first house, which is all about yourself. So how you are in yourself and how you're projecting outwards is going to influence the outcome of this situation. So after the self-examination and reflection, then I feel you will be able to move forward and you'll be able to deal with these issues. You will have pulled out your truth. You will have pulled out what resonates for you, what feels right for you in this situation, and the way you communicate about it is going to be very important as well. This is, bringing in that warmth, bringing in that creativity and spontaneity, and then balancing your finances as well. You're going to be, you need to be feeling in a good place in order to deal with this issue which is coming up. Then moving on from that into the 8th house, this is the South Node. It's to do with the past and dealing with past debts, if it's past life, but it can also be just putting the past to bed. So now, this house is intimately connected with this house because it deals with resources between partners. It also deals with sex, death, and rebirth. So it's could be symbolic death and rebirth, or one door closing and another one opening. And it's also to do with big finance. So this is investments. This is to do with tax, inheritance, insurances, banking, accounting, other people's money. So if you are managing other people's money, if you're in a business and you're managing other people's money, if you're in a partnership and you're managing somebody else's money or other people's money, then how you have been operating is going to change quite dramatically, and you're going to have to move forward on a different path. You may lose certain things, but out of that will come better things. And if it's to do with a relationship, a personal one-on-one relationship, or a close personal relationship, there has been perhaps a death of some sort, and a new beginning is going to come out of that. But it's to do with putting the past behind you, closing the door on that. So reconciling yourself with the past, with past things that just didn't work for you. And if it's to do with perhaps it's at the end of a relationship and there's a divorce involved, or just the ending of a close personal relationship which was right for you at a period of time. Now it's no longer. You're now moving on from that. And it could also have been possibly the death of somebody, and now you're having to deal with the outcome of that. And it's all to do with the financial issues around that. But it's also to do with past life issues if you are into that. It's basically to move forward in your life. You have to, yes, reflect on the past, but you have to close the door on that and move forward and focus on the future. All right, Libra, I hope you have a wonderful month, and I will see you next time. Take care.